If you're a millennial home buyer, you know that you face more financial challenges than your parents did when they were buying their first home. And the first one we think about right now is student loan debt. And I'm here to tell you, you can still buy a home with student loan debt. Okay, it does count as part of your DTI, which is your debt to income, which is a huge ratio we use when it comes to determining how much money you can spend on a home. So if you have student loan debt, the key points are keeping your credit card debt low and manageable with a low utilization, and not getting a car that has a $1,000 car payment, because that will ruin your DTI and not get you into a home. Plus, you're not saving any money when you're spending that much on a car month to month with insurance and all that other stuff on top of it. So let's just not do it, and then we can get into a home faster. And then high housing costs. We know that especially urban areas, the house costs have been increasing. And if you're a single millennial, you want to live by work, live by your friends, live by great restaurants, but the costs are high. Don't think you can't get into a home. You can still get into a home by buying a condo or a townhome. It's called a starter home for a reason. You start with something small and you start building up throughout the years as you sell and rebuy. It's rinse and repeat cycle. You get into your dream home by the end of it, okay? And then saving for a down payment can be challenging, especially if you're paying rent and other bills right now. But do know that first-time home buyers can start at a 3% or 3.5% depending on the loan product as a down payment amount. And yes, that can still get to be a large down payment amount depending on the purchase price of the home, but we have financial assistance when it comes to down payment assistance for first-time home buyers, people who have already bought a home and are buying a new home, or some that are capped by certain income levels and some that are not capped by income levels. Some of them are grants, some of them act as a second lien that are forgivable after a certain amount of time. So don't hesitate to contact a loan officer and find out what kind of down payment assistance they can find for you. And then of course we have, saving for closing costs. So one thing I want to say about that, if you're having a problem saving for down payment, but you find down payment assistance, closing costs can also be negotiated if you have a great realtor. And right now, when homes have been sitting on the market for a little bit longer, if you're in one of those markets, you can get a negotiation done to help cover those closing costs through seller concessions. That's something you'll definitely want to talk to your realtor about. And then of course, credit. Credit is one of the last things. And I think some millennials, there's a huge amount of millennials who are actually credit invisible, because credit almost sounds like a bad thing. But it's not. It can be a great thing if you manage it correctly. So if you have had issues not paying your bills on time, I don't know if you haven't bought a home, don't have a foreclosure yet, but if you've had any other problems, get a clean credit report for the last 12 months before you go buy a home. And if you need credit repair assistance, I do have someone who can help you, so contact me and let me know. But in a year, you could be ready to buy a home if you just look into these 5 things I mentioned.